The tragic death of a California teenager last night, just hours after her insurance company reversed itself and agreed to pay for a liver transplant. Now her family is calling for criminal charges. John Blackstone has more.
As 17-year-old Natalie Sarkisian lay dying in the hospital, friends and nurses marched on the insurance company that had denied her a liver transplant. The company, Cigna, called the transplant experimental, not covered.
Insurers will call anything experimental if it's got a six-figure price tag.
But yesterday, under pressure, Cigna suddenly changed its mind. Nataline's mother delivered the news.
Cigna just approved us.
But it was too late. Last night, Nataline died.
They took my daughter away from me.
Today, the family's attorney said he'll press for Cigna to be charged with manslaughter, even murder.
Cigna Health Corporation literally, maliciously killed her.
Nataline's doctors told the insurance company 10 days ago her liver was failing. She needed a transplant to survive. But twice she was taken off the waiting list when Cigna refused to pay. In her battle against leukemia, Nataline recently had a bone marrow transplant. Her brother was the donor.
I gave her a chance. They said she has a chance, and I did my part. Someone else didn't do their part. Someone took that chance away from them.
This week, the California Nurses Association asked nurses nationwide to phone Cigna in protest. The nurses say insurance companies too often focus on money, not medicine. This is a common story.
Oh, this is a common story. This is not isolated. This is not isolated. And it's just a symptom of our health care.
Insurance regulators get 1.3 million calls a year, says the National Association of Insurance Commissioners. Most complaints are about claim denials, delays, and low settlement offers. In a brief written statement, Cigna says only that its deepest sympathies are with Nataline's family.
You know, at times like this, I really do wish that I had a wealthy father's garage to make my videos in the way TJ does, or whatever the fuck Warren 25 Smash lives in. I think he must be in like an underground bunker like Dick Cheney or something, because I gotta imagine even if that guy lives in a house, the neighbors would be calling the cops from all the noise that he makes in his videos. The point is, I want to scream. I'm really fucking, I want to yell at the camera because I'm so angry. I saw that story on the news at work tonight, and I just couldn't wait to get home and turn the camera on and make a fucking video about it. But after seeing the story twice, like, I want to fill the trunk of my car with Molotov cocktails and just go find a Cigna office and start killing people. Not that I will. YouTube staff. I guess what I really want to do with this video is take a poll. I want to get some video responses, and I want to pose the question to you guys. Can a corporation be charged with murder? Or let's make it a dual-fold question. Can they and should they be? Because I've never heard such inflammatory language used in an insurance case before. Like you never hear murder in an insurance case. But I'm thinking to myself, it seems like an idea whose time has come, because all of the elements of a murder are present in such obvious ways. I mean, a murder doesn't have to fit the conventional idea of what it is. Like, I don't have to pull a gun out and shoot you, or cut your throat. If I drive you out to the desert in my Hummer, and then I kick you out, and you die of dehydration before you're able to claw your way back to a town somewhere, I still killed you. You know, I didn't snap your neck or cut your throat or shoot you, but you're still dead, And if it can be proved that I did that with the intent of ending your life, then I'm a murderer, and I go to jail, or you know, the death penalty, which I don't really agree with, but notwithstanding, well, you know, to prove murder in court, all you have to demonstrate is that there was a motive, an intent, and opportunity. And it seems that all of those are present. And the motive is the oldest and most easily provable murder motivation in the world: money. They let this little girl die to turn a buck, or keep a buck, rather. So, I'm wondering, like, could this really fly? Could that really go through? I don't see it happening. I don't see a court delivering a murder charge, but how would they run that? Would somebody do a prison sentence? Or when a corporation is charged with murder, do they pay a heavy fine? How the fuck does that work? Because I'm thinking it would be almost impossible to single out one responsible party in a case of corporate malfeasance. You know, this is always like a group decision. Evil is a group activity. That's what it's going to say on my t-shirts when I start selling them. And I imagine their internal documents will be subpoenaed, and we'll find out what really happened. But it won't be a new story. You know, this is like, I've seen so many cases like this. This isn't the first publicized case of an insurer denying a life-saving transplant to somebody for money. In one of Michael Moore's no, it wasn't a documentary. It was in one of his TV shows. It was either in The Awful Truth or TV Nation. He held like a mock funeral for this guy who was still alive that was being denied by Humana for some kind of organ transplant. I can't remember what. It might have been a liver, like in this case. And you know, they buckled under the public scrutiny and embarrassment and approved this guy's transplant. Now, had he died before he was able to get that, would the case have blown up the way this case is going to blow up? And believe me, it will blow the fuck up. I don't think so, because the X factor here is that it's a cute chick. Because that really is how the court of public opinion works, as corny as it fucking is. You know, it's like in V for Vendetta, when the little girl with the glasses gets shot by one of the finger men, and then that sparks the revolution. That really is how it works, you know. It's like that shit that Stalin said about how a million deaths is a statistic and a single death is a tragedy, or however the fuck that quote goes. But that's how it works. It takes a single emotionally charged case to act as the lightning rod for change. And I'm wondering if this could be like the pebble that starts the fucking avalanche, you know? I really could see it happening. I think this could be a tipping point that finally signals the beginning of the end of this dark footnote in American history that we're living in which private interests control public health. Because that's changed for so many other things. Like with fire service, it used to be that it was private fire companies, and if you didn't have that company's medallion on your house, they would drive by and let your house burn down, until people said, this is fucking insane. This has to be a public trust. And I'm convinced beyond any shadow of a doubt that it'll be the same way for healthcare someday. And I don't think people really appreciate the extent to which we're living in just really strange, barbaric times right now. Like it'll come to pass that people will remark upon the aughts, or whatever you call this decade that we're living in, and they'll say, those people were insane. How the fuck did they live like that? So I just want to get your opinion. I know you guys aren't used to me taking polls. It's not something I do very often. You're probably saying, you know, well, Fake Sagan, I thought you had like this contemptuous, kingly disregard for your audience's opinion. I do. I don't give a fuck what you guys think, and you won't get questions very often. This is like, this might not happen again for years. When I ask you a question, I don't care what you think. I'm doing this. Because I want to know, like, is this sparking people the way that I predict it will? I see that girl's face on 1,000 t-shirts, on 1,000,000 screaming protesters' placards. She's very photogenic. That's how human nature works. So let me see those video responses. Fake Sagan.